Hello, I'm Kristen from the Never Ending TBR in Kristen's Corner. We're just gonna have a chit chat today about do's and don'ts of any kind of like niche festival or event that you will be going to. Because apparently we need to have that conversation as grown-ups. I don't like the last couple of days I have been watching TikTok mostly, but I've been having conversations with friends in the book community as well as just friends in real life about what happened at Sinners and Stardust. I'm going to link a few videos in the comments so that you can kind of have an idea where I'm coming from. I did not go, so I'm not going to cover any of the stuff that did happen. I'm taking it as I worked in daycare or worked with kids for 20 years of my life, and I mean, I'm still working with kids with my little brother. And I've been to enough events, I think, where you would think certain behavior is just common sense and common knowledge, and apparently it's not. So I figured I would start, what I teach my littles and insert how it still is relevant and needed to be used in public spaces at these events. I might talk in cursive, so if you want to put your headphones on because you have littles, I apologize. I'm not angry because anything like that has ever happened to me. I'm angry because people should just do better. And I'm also concerned because I'm going to Shadows and Seduction, which is the same event, but in New Orleans. And it's New Orleans. Like, if they're wilding out in Boston, what's going to happen in New Orleans? Now, Sinners and Stardust, the event coordinators and whatever, they've been awesome about addressing everything that has been coming in and just not in this house kind of thing. Like, they put their foot down on a lot of stuff that was allowed and it will no longer be allowed. But my concern is we're in New Orleans and you have all these people. Like, there's a tab in the Facebook community of solo people. And I'm like, okay, so you have all these solo people that have never been, around other bookish people. And they're going to go out to Bourbon Street and they're going to let their freak flag go. And you know what I mean? And you would expect them to be better, but I don't know. And I don't know because I have a general admission ticket, you already don't have access to a lot of the things had you bought a different tier. Not that I want to go to the ball and spend money, on my costumes or, a nice outfit or whatever. I'd rather spend the money on books and merch, but I just feel like we're the ones that are going to take the hit because they're going to cater to people that are willing to pay more. And because they're going to have to up their security, they're going to have to rent spaces so that they're safe places for the guests that are, doing different parts of the event, whether they're an author or an entertainer or a vendor. Excuse me. So the money is going to have to come from somewhere. And they're not going to cut from the higher tier because they expect the goodie bag and, full access VIP. That's not going to get touched. Our ticket's going to get touched. And that's one of my biggest concerns, aside from the fact that it even happened at all. I'm just looking at it as a customer kind of thing instead of a person that was involved. Um, it shouldn't have happened at all. It should not, like, and the daycare person in me is like, really, you don't know that you're supposed to keep your hands to yourself? That you need to give people their personal bubble? That you cannot just take the things that you want because you paid for your ticket to get in? And then, for the ones that are like, well, I had these drinks and I never drank like that. I don't care. If you can't hold your liquor, I don't care if you're 21 and you're celebrating your 21st birthday and that's how you want to celebrate your birthday. Guess what? It's still not okay. It's still not okay for you to wild out on people that you don't know. And it's I don't even care about consent. You should know not to do the things that they did. And I don't know, and they keep saying, well, you had to get consent for certain pictures and whatever. Okay. But once the picture was done, that interaction is done. Move it along. Like, that's, I think, is common sense. Like, they were part of the entertainment. I don't know. And like, the solo people that are part of these chat communities, I just feel that they put too much of themselves out there. And I know as an introvert, you're trying to relate and get a vibe of these people so that you don't have to spend all this money on a room for yourself. But then you're in a room with individuals that you can't do a background check unless you have access to that kind of stuff. And it allows theft, identity theft, I mean, I'm not even talking about SA type stuff. It's just stranger danger. It goes out the window for some reason. Like when we were at the Romanticon, people would just leave their boxes of books in the middle of line so that they could pop in and do what they had to do, trusting that nobody was going to touch their stuff. Now, maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but at the same time, they didn't think. They just left their purse or whatever. I don't know if whether it's because I travel and I'm always like, okay, we're in a space where things get pickpocketed and pocketed. Oh my gosh, sorry. It just, you have to know where your stuff is. I don't know. And and then the other thing that was upsetting me is that I love merch. I love merch. Okay. So one of the things at Dark Romance, and even, did we have anything at Romantasy? I think there were a couple of vendors that had serious adult content stuff. It was phallic, or it was, artwork. Okay, so it's adult content. Yes, you're buying it in a public space, but you are given a bag so that it doesn't, once it leaves the vendor, it's not for the public to see. It's now yours to keep. And there was a story about people buying phallic things. I don't know if they brought their own or if they bought it at the vendor, and then they were sticking it on the wall of the hotel and putting substances on it and doing pictures to show that they were pretending to do something to the thing, but you're still in a public space. It's not yours, and it's public indecency as far as I'm concerned. I don't know legally if it is, but I've never looked at a wall and thought about taking one of my phallic things and be like, I choose you, Pikachu. I'm going to put some freaking yogurt on it and I'm going to take a picture. I've never thought of that. And I'm just like, what? People still have their kids there. It's not okay. And then there was another woman who had a phallic thing, and she was making lewd comments to people and then flashing people with her phallic member. And I don't know if, I think I heard, allegedly, I'm not sure, that they were like humping people. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I mean, I don't even let my friends do that when I'm drunk. And you're just gonna do it in daylight? In the middle of the freaking book line? I don't know. And then the other thing that bothers me is at these events, how grumpy people get. Like, I got lucky with the group that I was with, and the fact that when we needed timeouts, we were able to take timeouts. We would get into where we wanted to go. We'd have our timeouts, and then when we wanted to meet up for food or whatever, we'd go do that. But some people don't know how to do that, and it shows. And they are candidates for a Snickers commercial because they're so miserable and they're so rude. And there were people in wheelchairs, and as it was, like, the one that we went to, there was ADA issues anyway. But you see a person in a power wheelchair and nobody moves. Obviously, they're trying to either get in line to do exactly what you're doing, or they're trying to get out of there. Like, move. Or like there'd be people sitting in a chair and there'd be somebody on crutches and they'd be like teetering. Why aren't you going to offer them the chair? I know you're tired, but you can sit on the floor. They can't. And then there's the discussion, well, if they had crutches, why are they there? Well, because these tickets are expensive and they're non-refundable. And maybe they thought they could do all those stairs. I don't know. I don't know their life, but they made it there. Help them out. So I figured I'd make a video because, like, we're still having a conversation in one of my book community tabs, and some of us are just so angry about it, and then others, they're like, okay, well, it happened, we can't do anything about it, we just have to go with the regulations for the next thing. But there's gotta be a way to do better, because that shouldn't have happened at all. And I am so sorry, and I cannot believe that happened to the individual. And the fact that they put out an apology of something that happened to them, and then people are disgusting in their comment section, victim blaming that like, that's not okay. That is not okay. And just like all of the authors that have come forward to stand by the people that were affected by these things, and even people that were affected that are speaking out on it, they just, my train of thought left. Hold on, it's gone. I was too upset in my head. But basically it was along the lines of that those boundaries should be more. I don't know. I got my brain too upset now. I can't think. Yeah. So I'm hoping that our event has a smoother time about it. That's what it was. That's what it was. Is that everybody that was coming on was saying that the books that we're reading is fiction. That's where I was going with that thought. That's where I was going. You ever just get mad and just your brain goes, nope, don't want to think anymore? That's where I was. But that's what everybody's been saying, is that yes, we love the fact that you love our books, but that isn't us. It isn't an extension of us. And we don't act on all of those things. We just wrote about it. So that's where I was going with that. And the other thing that I worry about is the vendors, because it's dark romance, so there's a lot of adult stuff, like I was saying, and they spend so much money making and buying the products to sell at these things, and they might get banned from going because people that bought the stuff violated hotel policies. And I don't know. Are you guys following it? What are your thoughts about it? Please be kind in the comment section. If there is any hate or any somebody deciding to talk in all caps, I will delete it. I will allow you to try and come back with it. If you can come back nicer. If you can't, then you will be blocked and you will be reported. I do not allow bullies in my comment section. I feel that the conversation needs to be had, and I feel that the booktube community and the book talk community and the bookish community in general needs to make the content to have the conversations so that it doesn't happen again. It shouldn't happen. So yeah. And if you did go and you had a good time, I would like to know that too. You know, because it was only a select few people, and there were a lot of authors that had a wonderful time, and their staff had a wonderful time, and the volunteers, you know, that were in different sections of what was happening didn't have that experience. So I don't know, but I would like to keep the conversation going. I hope you're having a great day and a great week. Let me know if you've ever been to another convention where there are things that could be implemented from that convention to stuff like excuse me, the dark romance convention or romantasy or whatever, you know, ideas that have worked for other events that would help have a great event in the future. So all right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.